Recently, I had the honor of doing a live with Marcelo. He is a very wise, very cultured, very educated in all things fragrance of the niche variety. And so it was an honor to be not only on a live with him, but also to learn from him. And in doing the live, I picked to discuss some of my favorite fragrances to experience on a guy. And one of them that I mentioned, he hadn't experienced before. I had gotten a sample of it, I don't even know where, and I was really romanced by it. It took me by surprise. And I wanted to do my own little short review on it, just so that you guys are aware of it as well, because he hadn't even been aware of it. And if him, who is so well versed in all things niche fragrance, didn't know this line and didn't know this fragrance, I definitely needed to share it with you guys. The fragrance that I'm speaking of is by Jacques Zolty, and it's called Cubata. Kubata is part of the Havana line of Jacques Zolty fragrances. Jacques Zolty, he was a model that was apparently really sought after by photographers, and he had this love of St. Bart's. His love of St. Bart's then inspired him to create his own fragrance that to him, represented this love, this location, and people were so in love with it that he ended up creating his own fragrance line based on this fragrance that he created just as a personal scent. And now he has this namesake fragrance line, which he then expanded into clothing line for both men and women that kind of represent and envelop this love of St. Bart's. They all all his pieces all kind of reverberate with the St. Bart's essence. So Kubata is actually the only fragrance that I have experienced by Jacques Zolty. I did order a few more, so I'm going to be getting them hopefully this week, and maybe hopefully we'll be able to get the review out to you guys on those fragrances. However, speaking of Kubata itself, it's a reasonable price. It's $156, but again, you can only get it from a few locations. One being, I think, MaxAroma, as well as the Jacques Zolty website. I will include links in the description below so that you can access them if you're interested. Kubata really took me by surprise though, because it has a strong scent of cigars. I don't like cigars. If someone's smoking a cigar, I leave the room. I do not like that scent. However, this Kubata fragrance is amazing because it starts strong and heavy of this cigar, the tobacco, that is part of the Havana collection, another part of Jacques Zolty's history that he wanted to include in his fragrance line. Kubata, I keep going like that. Kubata is supposed to represent the smell of Havana, which is all-encompassing of cigar making. The smell of the tobacco leaves, the spices, it's all enveloping. Torcedores, which I know I'm butchering, but torcedores are the actual cigar makers. They're the ones who possibly from generation to generation have passed down this art of cigar making. Torcedores comes from the Spanish word for cigar maker. Apparently it takes about 9 months to learn the training to become a proper torcedor. Cigars are typically made from a blend of 5 tobaccos, which are intended to honor the people and the places that they derive from. Puros is the word for cigar, which means pure. So this Kubata is supposed to represent Cuba and the people that are the cigar makers within Cuba who have learned how to master the art of cigar making in its purest form, all ingredients deriving from Havana itself in Puros, which is pure cigars. The fragrance itself is, again, supposed to represent all these scents. The smell of the tobacco, the cigar making, the Caribbean flowers. It started strong and heavy of that cigar smell, that heavy tobacco scent. But as it dries down, you get this warm wave of this light, beautiful
fragrance of beechwood and tonka bean.
Gorgeous scent that is mixed with this tobacco scent, leaving you with a heavier fragrance. It's a sexy scent. It's a manly scent. It's a scent for a really masculine guy. And again, it's not a spring flower scent. It's not a wallflower scent. This is for a man who can be noticed, who is confident and comfortable with himself and being the center of the room. It is a cooler weather scent just because it is so strong, and it's going, heat is going to strengthen the power of the fragrance, and it's a heavy scent. So I wouldn't be going, out for cocktails in the heat of summer with the scent on. I think it's going to be too strong, but It would be perfect for a date night. It's perfect for a fancy dinner. It's perfect for any type of formal evening occasion, and even work if it's applied lightly. But I definitely encourage you to check this scent out. It's definitely one that's under the radar, so not everybody is going to know it. Not everybody is going to be wearing it, but it's one definitely worth checking out. Again, it's Cubata by Jacques Zolty. It does have a rather long life. It has a moderate to strong sillage. It doesn't have the longevity of, say, Gritty. I also talked about Mango Oud in that video. Mango Oud's life is a bit longer than Jacques Zolty's Cubata, but Cubata is nothing to shy away from. You get a good 6 to 8 hours, I'd say, with this fragrance. It's beautiful. And you manly men out there that are also niche fragrance lovers are going to like this one. So I highly recommend that you check it out. Again, I'm leaving links in the description below if you want to check it out using the link. I might get a small percentage if it's an affiliate link. If you choose not to use it, that's fine though too. But I do encourage you to check this one out if those notes sound of interest to you. I keep looking outside because kids are coming home from school and people are coming home from work, and I get a little subconscious, so sorry for my darting eyes. I also just had a coffee, so I might be a bit hyper. But I love you all. I appreciate you all, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.